Ceretto Winery I'm at, and pretty good vantage point from up here. You can see a lot of things, and I'm not sure what that town is there in the distance, but this is their vineyard right here on the hill. Ceretto Winery outside of Alba, about 10 minutes from Alba, the town. So we're in the aging room here at Ceretto, and pretty big area. There's some other barrels here too. Alright, so we're at Ceretto Winery. The inside is pretty cool. Actually, this reminds me more like Napa and Sonoma, where they have a pretty cool tasting area right here. And we've got these little private rooms that folks use to taste. And I didn't have a reservation here, so I just showed up, and I'm just gonna taste a couple wines and see how it goes. We're here with Claudia. She's been very nice to let me in here and taste a few wines, but she's gonna tell us a little bit about what they have. And please.
Yes, sure. Okay, as you can see, we have a pretty wide portfolio because we are not making wines just for a type of palate, so we want to diversify as much as possible. We start with an entry-level line of wines. We do have just a still white wine, which is called Blanchet, and it's made of 100% Arnais, a great variety from Italy, but typical of this region. We used to produce a second still white wine, which is called Monsordo Bianco. It was made of 100% Riesling. We do not do it anymore because since 2015 we do have the organic certification, and the Riesling grapes with this kind of approach in this type of region, it's always sick. So it was more the time invested in producing good healthy grapes that are actually making a good wine. So we just cut them off. Then we do have other entry-level products with typical varieties of the region: Dolcetto, Barbera, and Nebbiolo. But we also blink an eye to the international varieties. So we do have a blend made of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah. She's Luisella. Say hi to
Hi, nice to meet you.
Then we move on to Barbarescos and Barolo. We do have two entry levels of Barbaresco and Barolo that we define Classico. The word Classico means that it's a blend of different single vineyards. This is our will to make a Barolo and Barbaresco that it's ready to be drunk right now. So it's more approachable, especially for palates that are not used to drink Barolo and Barbaresco as they should be. Then we have...
So the Classico is, it's single varietal, but
it's
different
always
vineyards.
Nebbiolo, because
it's all Nebbiolo,
to
okay.
label your wine of Barolo and Barbaresco, your wines are to be made of 100% Nebbiolo. When we say Classico, it means that it's a blend of different single vineyards, but still Nebbiolo grape. Then we do have 3 single vineyards in Barbaresco and 6 single vineyards in Barolo. Then we have 3 other products, 2 sweet sparkling wines, Assi Spumante and Moscato d'Asti. We conclude with the Barolo Chinato, which is a very unique and particular product. It's always a Barolo, but in this case it is fortified and is infused with a mix of aromatic herbs.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Grazie mille.
Prego.
All right, so I decided to taste their Arnais Blanche from Langhe, and then move on to a Barbaresco DOCG and a Barolo DOCG, both Classico. So basically what that means is what she explained earlier, single grape varietal, but multiple vineyards that's been sourced from. And then I'm gonna do a single vineyard Barolo, but I'm just going to have her pick out whatever, and then we'll see how that goes. So here is the Langhe Arnais Blanche. All right. Great. So she's pouring me the Barbaresco as well as the Barolo DOCG.
For the Barolo Classico instead, the current vintage is the 2019, because compared to the Barbaresco Classico, it will undergo 1 extra year of aging in the Austrian oak.
Okay.
Okay?
And the Barbaresco is actually 2020.
Yes.
1 year younger.
Yes.
Okay, so there's the wines. We've got a Barbaresco on the side here and a Barolo on the other. So it's the same grape, however, from different vineyards. Now I've tasted the Barbaresco. It's really nice. Also, forgot to mention they both Nebbiolo. And here's the 2 bottles that we're tasting here. Nebbiolo 2019 for the Barolo and it's 2020 for the Barbaresco. All right, we're here with Elena, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the production of Barolo and Barbaresco in this region. I was just asking her earlier about residual sugar, because Primitivo, you could actually do that in Mandura DOC.
I mean, for example, here we usually finish the fermentation and solve the residual sugar, and the idea is to have something that is really elegant, thin, and also complete. As you can taste here in the label Classico, the label Classico is a blend of all the crew we have inside the Barbaresco area of the family, of course, and inside the Barolo area for the label Classico of Barolo, blending the different, of course, behavior of the Nebbiolo grape that come from different soil and different village is our traditional way to vinify our Barolo and Barbaresco in the past, because since the 18th century Barolo and Barbaresco were all the time vinified by blending the Nebbiolo grape that came from, for example, La Morra and the one that come from Serralunga, putting together, because of course we have some differences in the soil and some differences in the behavior of the acidity and tannins, the most important characteristic in the Nebbiolo grape.
Yeah.
Is the Barolo DOCG for
Gotcha.
Barolo, and for Barbaresco, the Barbaresco DOCG.
Okay.
The idea is that the disciplinary, so the regulamentation for the Nebbiolo d'Alba, for example, is something different, and the regulamentation for the Langhe DOC Rosso or the Langhe DOC Bianco is again different. So what we have, especially in Barolo and Barbaresco, is the DOCG regulamentation, that is the one really strict, and impose you, for example, the yields per hectare, that is must be less than 80 hectoliters per hectare. Of course, for example, we do the half, around 40. It's depending all the time if we want to speak about the quality, and for sure the quality and the quantity never going in the same way. So, for example, in general, with an hectare in Barolo, we can arrive to produce, it depends all the time by the vintage, but almost 3,000 bottles, almost.
Yeah, and what's the alcohol percentage in both
It's
of them?
depending by the vintage, but it's around 14 degrees, maximum 14.5 for hours, Barolo and Barbaresco. Usually Barbaresco is just a little bit less in the percentage of alcohol because it's more around 14 degrees, and in Barolo, for example, 14.5. Everything is a property by the family.
Gotcha.
But for example, the second generation of Bruno and Marcello are really famous here in Langa because they started to map all Barolo area with all the plots we know nowadays, so with all the crew we know nowadays. They were not the only one for sure, but with other producers they started to do this work. And especially during the 70s, we arrived to have the idea of the plots we know nowadays, because the regulation for the plots just arrived in 2010, so it's really recently.
Okay, grazie mille.
Prego. Of the Lange, okay? We are located here, up on this hill, in the middle of the two denominations. We have the river that can create a division, especially geologically and geographically speaking. And for example, the Barbaresco area, as you can see, is so close to the river. Instead, this is Barolo area, far from the river Tanaro, and that we have seen before with different soil.
Excellent. And can you tell me about the area above?
Roero. Here in the Roero, we have a younger soil,
Yeah.
really full with sand. The most spread variety is a white variety that is the Arnese variety.
Nice, okay.
And the Arnese is a native grape from this area. I think that is the wine you tasted
first
in
one.
the beginning. Yes.
Yes, that was very nice.
Yeah.
Just really well-rounded.
Is-
Enough acidity to not make it all.
Yeah. It's really well done because the
Yes.
entrance is more round, as you have said,
Yeah.
but we have also the bubbles so integrated that can perceive more acidity. And we have in the final part is more salty.
All right, so I'm gonna move on now to some single vineyard Barbaresco and single vineyard Barolo, both 100% Nebbiolo. And by the way, these glasses are beautiful. They're just so lightweight, and look at the stem on them. They're just so thin, and it's crystal. Look at those nice white. Oh my God, that's amazing. And there's
Asili 2020, Bricco Rock 2019.
okay, 2020 for the Barbaresco, and the Barolo is 2019. The Barolo goes through an extra year of aging.
Never new French oak.
Oh,
1
never French.
year of in the French oak, the first year of aging for
Yep.
both.
Yep.
After, Barbaresco stay in the Austrian oak for 1 year, so in total 2 in the wood, and after we release on the market.
Okay.
Barolo, for example, Bricco Rocche, stay 1 year in the French oak and 2 years in the Austrian one, and after we release on the market.
Excellent. Thank you.
Prego.
Just another closer look at these wines.
So we are tasting Asili, that is the cru, we can say the most important cru we have in the Barbaresco area. Asili is the most important and famous because what we have in the soil is something more unique. We have the marl, but with more percentage of sand. Then sand usually give us the smoother tannins, and after in Asili we have more percentage of limestone. So the limestone gives the power and the potential, especially for the aging. The nose of Asili is the one really floral with a lot of roses, but also with the small red fruits. When you taste Asili, you have a lot of freshness. And after, in the final part of the sip, you have the pushback of the tannins. Okay, is the one perfect for the aging. In Bricco Rocche, what we have is our flagship Barolo is the crew really important for the family. In Bricco Rocche, the name says Bricco and Rocche. What it means? Bricco is the top of the hill, as in Asili, and Rocche means rock. Brick Rock is our monopole because the family decided to purchase all the top of the hill of Castiglione Falletto, where we have in the soil the really perfect balance, especially in the marl with the Lequio and also with the compact sandstone. So the great complexity, the one that is really unique because reminds to the Barolo of La Morra and the Barolo of Serralunga d'Alba, the two other sides we have really important in this area. It's the one really complete and it's the one really elegant.
And they've got this really cool place right here. It's enclosed. It's like almost a bubble, and has a view of their vineyard right there. Sorry, no worries. Just 1 second. I just wanted to get a couple shots here. Okay, here's another shot of the vineyard. Just the sun's almost setting, and just different light. Just go over here and take a peek at the rest of the vineyard here, and yeah, looks beautiful. Still don't know what that town is over there on the hill, and there's the sunset. Yep, doesn't suck. Like we heard in Napa one time. Some of my friends know what I'm talking about.